If you talk like that volume for the rest of the podcast.
Is it perfect?
Mwah, mwah.
Well, then don't make me excited.
I can't promise that, baby.
I think it's a pretty safe bet.
So mean. Can we start the show now? Vow, view, vow, view, vow, view, vow, view, vow to view, vow, 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 vow to view,
vow to view each other's movies, even though we don't always like them, but it's okay because we love each other and movies too.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Vow to View, a Doof Media podcast all about marriage and the things we make each other watch. My name is Elyse Daly.
And I'm Scott Daly.
And together,
we're the Dailies. Yes, this is the weekly podcast where each week, me and my wife Elyse select a movie we like loosely based around a common theme, loosely being the key word there.
Theme that Elyse comes up with.
Well, not always.
Creative
not always.
juices.
Not always. And then we get in front of some microphones and we talk about that movie. But we have some changes to the format, Elyse, that we have to announce.
Everything's changing. Isn't that a song?
Sure.
I think it is.
Changes.
Changes.
That's Chia Pet.
I know.
Wrong.
It works for you.
Yeah, so we missed an episode last week.
You didn't get it.
We missed an episode last week.
It's because you're balls.
I'm just trying to move the show forward. You're just staying in the insult my husband zone. I don't like that zone. It's not a good zone. It's not a good zone.
Everyone loves that zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we missed an episode last week. Again.
Did we though?
Yes. Like literally.
We did?
Yeah.
We didn't say we were going to do it later?
No. We just completely missed it. There was just no episode last week.
That's just what happens with life sometimes. We're trying, guys. We're trying. We're trying.
I'm explaining how we're changing the format to hopefully make it so we won't do that again. So don't just say, well, it's gonna be whenever we feel like it.
It's not. We're trying something new. We're trying. We're trying.
Hashtag trying.
Hashtag trying.
I'm sorry, what?
Tryan.
Tryan?
Tryan.
Spell it.
Tryan.
Tryan.
We're trying.
Hashtag Tryan.
Hashtag copyright Tryan.
Oh, so we hashtag and copyright it. Wow.
Indeed.
Okay. Yeah, so basically the problem is I'm very, very, very busy with all my Doof Media commitments as well as my day job. Elise's job has gotten more and more busy. You've got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And the ability to do 2 movies a week and to have time to sit down and watch them together and record a podcast was just too much for us.
And also basically, just enjoy life.
Yeah, basically what was happening is our free time was spent doing this. Our free time together basically was spent.
Yes. And there are other ways we would like to spend our free time together.
Right, yeah. So we were trying to come up with multiple different solutions to this problem. We thought about just canceling the show entirely, but I really didn't want to do that because I really like sharing you with the world. Everyone should get to see the ridiculousness that I live with. Here, I'm sorry.
You're lucky they don't get to see me. It'd be crazy.
Especially right now, babe.
I'm so cold.
You a mess. You a mess. Look at your hair. It's so beautiful.
Worked out, watched TV on the couch, cold, and I'm in a blanket. Life's great.
Yeah, so we thought about canceling it. We thought about putting it on hiatus. Neither of those seemed really good. One of the ideas we had was to just start doing the show every other week and do both movies and then do it every other week. I didn't like that as much either because I feel like this is like a snippet into our lives on a weekly basis, and I like that it's on a weekly basis. I like that. So I think the thing we've decided to try out going forward from this episode on is we're only going to do 1 movie a week. So basically each episode is going to have a part 1 and a part 2. So Elyse will pick a topic like She picked horsepower this time.
Oh, so you do admit that I picked the topic?
I knew as I was saying it, I was like, she's gonna call me out on this.
I am, because I listened to you.
But well, we will collectively come up with a topic.
Okay.
And then first episode, the first week will be Elise's movie or my movie, and then the next episode, part 2, will be the other person's movie, and then we'll pick a new topic, and then we'll do that, and that allows us to only have to watch one movie a week. And I think the episodes will probably be a little shorter because we're not talking about as much in each. But we still get to come here every week and do this every week and still do all the other things we do, include talking about The Bachelor. But I think that's a good solution. And
we're all about solutions.
Yeah.
We're about solving these problems.
And I still get to make you watch movies that you normally would just say no to. So
I mean, you'd make
really
me watch
everybody
them
wins.
anyways.
Can we go see Happy Death Day to You?
I already told you that we could go see that. We just can't go see it this weekend.
I just wanted it on the record so I could cite back to it.
I already told you we would go see it.
Okay, can we go see it on Thursday?
No.
Why not?
Because it's Valentine's Day.
It's the
and you're gonna
perfect
plan
Valentine's
the
Day movie.
No. You're going to plan a day where all that you're doing is things that you know that are my priority loves.
That doesn't seem fair.
Yes.
Valentine's Day is about the two of us. It's not just about you.
Valentine's Day is all about the girl.
That's sexist. What
No,
about
it's
about two men? Do they just not celebrate it? I don't think that's true.
I don't know.
This is not fair.
Okay.
I'm gonna boycott Valentine's Day. I would
course
do
you
that,
would.
but I've already paid for your flowers and your cake and stuff,
Oh, that's so sweet.
and I can't get those back. Although I think I booked the pickup time for both those things at the same
At
time.
the same time. That's
going to be
unfortunate.
interesting. Yeah,
Is it from the place over here by us, though, again?
I'm not telling you. It's a surprise.
I hope it is. Those are nice flowers.
Okay,
Now, if it's not, I'll be disappointed.
it is.
Okay, good. I figured it would be.
Yeah. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone out there. Unless it's not a happy Valentine's Day, in which case,
Happy Galentine's Day.
Chin up. Who needs relationships anyway?
Chin up, chin up. I know that's a song. I just can't think of what it's from.
Okay, sure. So this episode is part 1 of our 2-part horsepower series.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum-ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Chin up. Sorry.
We are recording this at 9:30 p.m. on a Monday, and Elyse has gotten into her loopy stage of tiredness. So this is going to be an especially interesting Elyse episode. She's staring at me. I'm giving you guys a play-by-play. She's looking at me. Ooh, her eyes are starting to
As
tighten.
the feline stares across at her prey.
If you ever do murder me, this show is going to be like just great evidence. Like you're definitely going to jail.
I would never do that to you.
I'm just saying hypothetically.
Okay.
So yeah, we're covering horsepower, and really all that meant is you wanted to do a movie with a horse in it, and you wanted it to be something that I could pick something with too.
Yeah.
So your movie, what was your movie again?
National Velvet.
Your movie was National Velvet. My movie was Rush, and we are doing my movie this week.
Yes.
And then we will do National Velvet next week.
Based on Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, sure.
It was his life story.
Little known fact.
Rush
Limbaugh. Super into Formula One racing.
I mean, wow, he was good.
Yeah.
So fast you didn't even recognize him.
Which one is he supposed to be?
In car number 4. Didn't you see him go by there?
I didn't. I missed that part. I'm sorry.
Well, it's because he was so fast.
Okay, Elyse.
Yeah.
Let's move into your favorite section of the show. Your favorite segment of the show.
Section, so you can barf.
It's time for
Bachelor. Yep. Scott is choking himself now. The feline has devoured her prey.
All right, Elyse, it's time for the part of the show where you talk about The Bachelor for way too long, and I don't know why we do this because I don't think anyone listening to this podcast actually watches The Bachelor, but for some reason they still like to hear you talk about it. This is the part of the show. Go!
I don't know if they really do, but I I hate when they always do the to be continued things, and they did it to be continued last week to this week, and it was really like not even at a point where it really needed to be continued. It was just because they wanted to see if they could get more ratings, and I don't think that it worked. And they ended up having 2 rose ceremonies in the same episode, and the girls that were bullying each other both went home.
Yeah. So what?
Hey,
what are the big? So I'm going to be honest with you, babe,
Yeah.
and world. Haven't been paying a lot of attention to the show this year.
So here's the deal.
Mostly on my phone or reading or working or doing something. So what are the big moments of drama in The Bachelor season 35? I don't know.
The drama between the beauty queens, which has since been resolved, and they're both there.
Cool. Boring.
That's about it.
No, there's got to be other stuff. There was those 2 people fighting, and now there's the drama of nobody's ready to get married, but they're on this show.
I mean, they're like so young. And not that age is a thing. It's just like experience of life. I don't feel like they have really.
Yeah. Who would have thought that people willing to go on a dating game show don't have a lot of life experience? Yeah, the narrative they seem to be building up, and you gave me a little spoilery hint at the end of our watching session this time, but the narrative they seem to be building up to, that you can see them laying the seeds for, is that
no one's ready to get married.
None of the girls he's going to end up being picked
are
actually wanting to do this, which is ridiculous. Like, here's there's this thing that happens in every one of these seasons now is there's the one girl who ends up going home of her own choice because she just can't stand that the dude is with all these other women.
And if you hang on long enough, you end up being the Bachelorette.
Or you get to go to Paradise and do that fucking shit show.
Oh yeah, all these girls will be on there.
Yeah. But like, there's always that one girl, and that was today's episode. We're recording this on a Monday night, so the episode just finished. That was like, I just can't do this, and she leaves, and it's always like, it's not like this is a new show. I don't understand how you go on this television show and then leave because turns out he's going to be dating multiple women.
I also am wondering now, how many women have left before or asked to leave before the rose ceremony this season compared to others?
I don't know.
Are they leaving early because Colton's really just not all that he's cracked up to be?
I think he's boring. I mean,
I think he is too.
We've joked about how the show is boring now, but this is the most boring it's ever been for me. And I know I said that last season. I said that on The Bachelorette, whatever her name was. I've completely forgotten. But there's just nothing. And the most.
Oh yeah, Becca.
The most they can get is him like going off to walk on the beach for 2 minutes because 2 girls are fighting and he just can't handle it. And you're just like, dude, this is not a hard decision. Send both of the bickering people home. And then he just did that, and then the drama's over, and there's nothing else to do. And it's
now
just
none of them are ready.
Yeah.
So he goes by the plants.
And now he's freaking out, and he goes to stand pensively while looking at the plants as if he's trying to figure everything out.
I mean, the producers told each girl when they were about to leave.
Yeah, tell him.
Sure, if you think that, do you think that everyone here is ready to get married?
Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Well, you
better
should
tell
go
him.
talk to him, and if you can't stay, then you need to make sure that you tell him.
And this is what makes me think it's all bullshit, because I think Scott's speculations. Returning into Vow to Be form. I don't think I ever said it. Yeah.
Oh.
That was Elyse's.
made it.
Elyse made a jingle for me for We've Got Worm. And
Scott's speculations.
It was a very complex jingle.
Only he didn't really like it, so he didn't use it, but now I'm going to use it.
It's not that I didn't like it.
You
It's just
didn't
it didn't
like
fit.
No. It's
Anyway.
okay.
So yeah, he's not going to be engaged by the end of this season.
I don't know, Scott.
And I mean, like that's seemingly. I mean, not only are they building that narrative via the editing, but it seems like the producing is heading there as well. And it's just like, why do we keep doing this? There's so much good TV. Can't the Bachelorette blurg be?
Maybe The Bachelor should be merged with the Titan games.
Can we just change this? This segment of the show to whatever cool thing we're watching on TV this week and stop watching the show? Because we watched a lot of
watching the show.
Because we watched a lot of cool TV.
What are we
last
watching
week.
now?
Is that that's the jingle?
That's what you want it to be.
We watched a lot of cool TV this weekend,
What are we watching now?
and I wish we could talk about that instead of this stupid show.
If that's what you want to do, we can do that.
Okay.
Changes.
Everything's changing. I don't know if we can do these all at once.
Changing. It is a song.
Uh-huh.
That's how the tune goes.
Oh my God.
Hey, Scott.
Yes, love.
So that was really all there is about The Bachelor.
Yeah, that was it.
Yep.
So what time is it now?
Scott, speculation.
No, we did that already.
No?
Yeah.
You don't have anything else to speculate?
I speculate that up next on the show is the Roses and Thorns section.
Ah, good call.
Every rose has its thorn,
Has its thorn.
just like every night has its dawn.
Dawn, dawn, dawn.
Every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Jesus.
Rosies and Thornies.
It's a Roses and Thornies.
It's Rosies and Thornies time.
We had a listener tell us,
We did?
yes,
Okay.
that perhaps we should start with the bad thing first, so we end on a high note. So instead of roses and thorns, thornies and rosies.
You know, I usually make kids share it that way.
I think that's a good thing to do.
Yeah. It's a good idea, whoever that was. Who was that?
I don't remember. So many people. There's
That's going to be their thorn this week.
their thorn is going to be that they
They're
didn't.
going to be, you know what? I said something and it was great, and Scott acknowledged and thought it was a good idea, and he didn't even remember who I was.
They're used to that though. I do that on We've Got
That's
Ward all the
horrible.
time.
There's such power in names.
I know. I just read a book about it.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
Well,
It's called The Name of the Wind.
names. Well,
Elyse,
Scott,
so what was your thorn?
I was trying to ask you.
No, I jumped you.
So I don't really know what bad thing is, so I just kind of said something. So I was at a competition from 7 to 6 on Saturday.
7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I signed up for it. I mean, I can't really complain.
Well, you
'Cause
got
I
to say
signed
what
up.
you were doing.
I was judging the first first Lego League regional championship for Dallas.
Guys, she had a polo and she had a button that said judge on it.
That's right.
And let me tell you guys, after a day of judging, Elyse gets in the car and she's very judgmental.
I am.
Elyse was judging
I mean,
everyone else at this
I'm an
event.
INFJ. I am a judger.
Nobody knows what that means.
Yes, they do.
Nobody
People
knows what it
know
means.
what that means. The Myers-Briggs
Myers-Briggs
personality
is
test.
stupid.
Well, you know what? According to both of our profiles, we were a match based on Myers-Briggs.
Well, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
So maybe there is
that
a
we've-
little something to it.
I'm glad that we've scienced out our relationship.
We have.
That shows the passion.
It does, doesn't it?
According to this 30-minute quiz I took
I
one
was
time,
a J, and you're a P.
I am perfectly suited to
You're an E
spend
and
my
I'm an
life
I.
with you.
So there we go.
You went Minnesota. I don't understand
All
why you do that.
scientists are from Minnesota, Scott.
Any
You just
ac-
have to acknowledge
Any
that.
accent you start will eventually transition to Minnesota.
I don't know if you think that's true.
I don't even know. Like you started Irish and then went Minnesota.
We're reading a book in class right now, and I'm doing voices.
Oh gosh.
Except I couldn't do the voice that I really wanted to do today for Dr. Discord. We're reading The Phantom Tollbooth. And it's supposed to be this really raspy voice. And there was one year, like, I nailed it. It was wonderful.
Do it for us right now.
It hurts my throat.
Please,
I can't do
do
it
like
anymore.
5 seconds of
I
it.
can't do it.
Just 5 seconds.
No, 'cause
one word.
It hurts so bad.
Okay. I don't
It's
want
too
you to. I
much.
don't want you to break your throat.
I know. I get callous, and then I can't sing, and I can't talk.
So
Anyways.
your thorn was you had to go to this thing, and it wasn't the event itself that is your thorn
It's
because you
just-
enjoyed yourself.
It's just the fact that it took a whole day.
It did take a whole day.
It was a long day.
I read like an entire book
Yeah.
during the time that you were gone.
You know, another thing is a lot of our kids are getting sick so many have come
swear,
with the flu.
If you bring the flu home,
I sent a kid from my class
if you
home today with
bring
the fever.
the flu home,
I got my flu shot and you didn't.
yeah, I did not.
So it's your own fault.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No. If you flew me, I have no consequences I can say. I'll just be very mad. Be very mad.
And you know what I'll say?
What?
You should have gotten your flu shot.
Nah, I haven't gotten a flu shot in 10 years, and I haven't gotten the flu in 10 years. Ergo,
You're going to get the flu now? Shouldn't have said it.
I'm an anti-vaxxer, babe. That's how I roll.
Okay.
Vaccines don't work, except for every measurement possible that shows that they do. Anyway, so yeah, you didn't really have a weekend. That's a bummer.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
I mean, our Sunday was pretty chill.
Well, it was chilly, yeah, because I didn't want to do anything because I had spent the whole Saturday doing stuff
Yeah,
for 11 hours.
we didn't do nothing.
I know.
Didn't do nothing. It was great. You even didn't have to go to the grocery store.
I didn't. That was really nice.
Yeah.
That could be a good rose.
It's good. All right, so it's your thorn.
That could be a rose.
End of thorn.
End of thorn. What's your thorn?
My childhood is dead.
Because you beat the game?
No, I didn't beat the game. I didn't beat the game because the game's horrible. So I've been playing Kingdom Hearts, and I had Friday off. I took Friday off because I needed to use up some vacation time or I'm going to lose it. So I took Friday off, and I spent the entire day Friday playing Kingdom Hearts 2. I streamed some of it on our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/doofmedia, if you want to see me on there.
It's not the only reason you're sharing this is your thorn.
No, I'm not. This game is really bad.
Okay.
It's really, really
Tell
bad.
me about it. Why?
It's awful.
Why?
So this Kingdom Hearts 3 is like the Disney Square Enix crossover. And Square Enix is the company that made the Final Fantasy games that I played,
Yeah,
throughout my
I
childhood.
recognize the name.
I loved Final Fantasy games. I love the first two Kingdom Hearts games when they came out. And then I didn't play any of the other ones. Mm-hmm. This game is awful.
I'm so sorry.
And it's awful to the extent of you're like, was all the games I loved as a kid actually just bad? And I think the answer to that question is probably yes. And now, like, as soon as I finish this game, I want to go back through all the Final Fantasy games and play them again and see if they're actually just terrible, because this game is so bad. So it's like you go to different Disney worlds and then you're like your character
like
and
Magic Kingdom and Epcot Disney World.
No, like Tangled and Toy Story and Monsters Inc. are the ones I went to, and I'm on the Frozen world right now. And it's like, it's like you go to a world and it's like a shitty 15-minute version of the movie, like awful. And like I'd never seen the movie Tangled, so I got this unique experience where
it wasn't that bad.
I'm sure it was great, but I got this unique experience where I got to see their interpretation of a movie that I haven't seen, so I had nothing to measure it against. And it's like a 15-minute terrible shit. Like you can't understand what's going on. It's just like this really like pressing fast forward on it, except in between all that is like the worst instincts of anime put into a video game, where it's just nonsense, and the combat isn't even that fun because there's just too much. You just press the X button. Like all you have to do is press the X button. It's just
all you have to do is press the X button and you
just mash the X button.
I bet I could play this game.
You just mash the X button, and then when the game tells you to press triangle, you press triangle, and then you do a thing, and then you smash the X button again, and then you win the game.
I think that sounds great. I could do that.
Yeah, that's my point. It's bad. It's a bad game. It's so disappointing. It's like I think once I finish it, I'm gonna like really dive into the story and talk about why the story is terrible. But just trust me when I say the story is terrible, and it's just like one of those things where you realize that like all the stuff you liked as a kid, maybe you didn't like it because like when I was a kid, I focused more on story driven games because I like storytelling. Turns out
you do,
and so that's what I liked in my video games, and it's just like. Turns out all this stuff was actually probably pretty bad. And I'm really curious to find out which of those are bad and which aren't. So that's what I'm going to be doing after I finish this stupid game. If I finish it, I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
Just get to the Little Mermaid world. What worlds are there? Is there the Little Mermaid?
There's been Little Mermaid. They already did the Lion King. They usually try to do new ones in each game, but I've gone to the Little Mermaid world multiple times throughout these games, so we'll probably go back there for some reason. Okay. I know there's a Pirates of the Caribbean world left. I know there's a Big Hero 6 world left. I can't think of the other ones. and I'm doing the Frozen world. And in the Frozen world,
Is there an Inside Out?
No, I don't think so.
That would be fun.
In the Frozen world, they literally just remake. Oh no!
Scott,
Will you turn it off?
Failed. You didn't turn it off.
I'm sorry.
It's your responsibility.
Well, in the Frozen world, they literally just recreate the Let It Go scene, like frame for frame, and except Goofy's there, and it's just like the worst thing. It's the worst. So,
You're the worst.
So Kingdom Hearts is bad, and then
Okay.
that's my thorn.
Okay.
What's your rose? Be positive.
I'm really excited, and my rose is something that hasn't happened yet. I've just been really excited.
Feels like
about
cheating.
It. Is that okay?
Feels like cheating, but I'll
I'm just
allow
really
it.
excited. It'll
Okay.
probably be my rose next week too.
Okay.
Lord of the Weekend.
Explain what this is.
So my little sister's never seen Lord of the Rings before, and she's always wanted to see them, and so we decided to plan a weekend where we're just going to marathon them all together. And so she's going to come down on Friday, and then we're going to watch all the movies back to back. And I found this thing on NPR that has different recipes that you...
It's like a 14-course meal.
It's not 14. I think it's like 8. It's 18 different things that are based on the books and times to serve them that correspond with events in the movie. And I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
You know, I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan myself.
I know. That's what's so hilarious about it.
I just
to
really
me.
like the whole idea of it.
The idea.
You know, it's just one of those things that people latch on to.
Yeah, I mean, these are some of my
And so I
favorite
think
movies of all time. We've talked about these movies before.
I didn't really like the first one.
It's the best one.
No, the first one's not the best
You're
one.
objectively wrong.
No. And I think it's going to be fun to rewatch this with my little sister who's never seen it, my older sister who has seen it and loves it, and you who is going to be watching this, intently watching Meredith who's never seen it before because you want to see her reaction.
I'm not going to do that.
Scott.
That's not what I do.
There's going to be times where you know something's going to happen in the movie and you're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, she's never seen it before. What's she going to think? So you're going to watch what she thinks about it.
She's probably not going to be paying attention
And
half
the other
time.
thing is, like, with you and Adrian watching something that both of you guys have seen and I have never seen it before, it's just...
Are you about to be mean
I'm not about to be mean.
to your blood and your husband?
No, I'm just saying that if you ever care about spoilers, don't watch it with Scott and Adrian because they just try and talk about it because they like the show so much, and then they end up spoiling things for you.
Don't put that on me. That's your sister. I don't take that. I reject that. Blocked.
Okay. Anyways.
So yeah, that's just this Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yep. So what's your rose?
My rose is just kidding. My childhood's not dead because we went and saw the Lego Movie 2, the second part, over the weekend.
That's a good one.
And I loved this movie to death. You know, like I said, there are things about your childhood you discover were actually bad, and then there's things about your childhood you discover were actually great. And playing with Legos was a huge part of being a kid for me. We used to play Legos all the time, and I loved the first Lego Movie so much because it captured, you know, the fun of just building whatever the heck you wanted to. And I loved the second Lego Movie. Like, both of my things are media based this week, and it's just because we watched and saw a lot of different things and played a lot of different things. But I just loved the Lego Movie 2. Like, it was not as good as the first one for me. I don't think anything could be because the first one was so surprising. Like, it just didn't have any reason to be as good as it was. And that was such a surprising shock. But this was about as good as a sequel to that movie could be, I think. I don't think you can get much better. It's got a lot of great theming going on here, very interesting exploration of, you know, sibling play and the difference between guys and girls and how they play with Legos and confronting, you know, the inherent conflict there. And lots of great things to say about it. I think I'm probably going to talk more about it on the Doofcast and get a little more specific, but
You do that.
definitely one of... Don't be mean.
I didn't mean it mean.
Definitely one of my favorite movies of the year so far, for sure.
I enjoyed it. We haven't seen a lot of movies this year.
I have.
You have?
Uh-huh. We haven't gone to the theater that much this year. There's been a bunch of Netflix movies we've been watching. We watched High Flying Bird,
That's true.
which I really liked. And But more are starting to come out. We're going to the theater this weekend and
We're not going this weekend.
Wednesday, whatever. We're going on Wednesday.
We're going on Wednesday?
Yeah, we're seeing Alita Battle Angel on Wednesday. We talked about this
that.
already.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about it.
All right. I think that's it for Roses and Thorns. It was a good week for me, except for the
What time is that movie?
7
Okay.
something. Why?
I have a meeting after school.
Okay.
Sometimes they take long.
So that means, Elyse, it is time to get into the main event. It is time to talk about my selection for the horsepower theme. And I picked 2013's Rush. This is a movie written by Peter Morgan and directed by your favorite director, Ron Howard.
Little Ronnie Opie boy. He's from our first episode of Out of View. Look how
Yes.
much he's grown up.
I know.
He's making movies and stuff. Oh.
Yeah, he made that excellent movie Solo last year.
That's not one we're talking about.
All right. Let's talk about Rush.
Yeah, because we don't want to talk about the other one.
Of course, first things first is I have to read a summary of the movie as written by my wife.
Yeah, it's been a while and my creative juices aren't good today. So
no.
just take it for what it's worth.
2 race car drivers drive too fast and risk their lives. James Hunt is a playboy.
I could have just ended there.
James Hunt is a playboy who is striving to win and prove to everyone how great he is. Niki Lauda is better than James Hunt, but still struggles to show he is the best. Niki Lauda gets in a crash and nearly dies. Hunt wins because Lauda is hurt. Lauda recovers and races again. Both win in the end. Elyse, this is terrible. I mean, you just summarize the entire movie, just plot element by plot element. But yes, this is a.
Isn't that what a summary is?
You don't want to spoil the whole thing in the summary.
I know we're talking about it. This is a real life story. Come on.
Here's IMDb's version of the summary. The merciless 1970s rivalry between Formula One rivals James Hunt and Niki Lauda. So yes, this is I guess it's a biopic, kind of.
Yeah.
It's a biopic. The movie kind of focuses on both characters. James Hunt and Niki Lauda were Formula One racers in the 70s, as it says that they had this epic rivalry between the two of them, especially in the season that is focused on in this movie, which I think is the 76 season.
70 something.
It stars Chris Hemsworth as Playboy James Hunt, Daniel Bruhl as Niki Lauda, Olivia Wilde as James Hunt's very short-term wife, and Alexandra Maria Lara as Marlene Lauda, Niki's wife. So Elyse, talk to me about this movie a little bit.
Okay.
What did you enjoy about this movie?
Well, first of all, I'd never seen this movie before, but I do really remember vividly
the whole thing
the
is
trailer.
that you've never seen this movie before.
No. So, there's some movies that you don't remember coming out in the theaters and you just never saw them. But this one, I remember seeing the trailer for this one because, hello, Chris Hemsworth.
Hello.
And I just remember thinking that the movie was really just all about him. And then
It's not.
It's not all about him. So you convinced me to watch a movie I thought was just going to be Chris Hemsworth the whole time. And it was not Chris Hemsworth the whole time.
It was a lot of Chris Hemsworth, though. And he was shirtless for
It
a
was
fair
not
amount
enough
of it.
of Chris Hemsworth. It's like Bad Times at the El Royale. You think it's going to have more Hemsworth in the rain with his shirt off, and it just doesn't happen.
I mean,
What?
it's like
What?
you're just greedy. You're just Hemsworth greedy.
I am.
You just want the whole movie to just be him standing there with his shirt off.
I mean,
I
would
feel-
that be a bad thing?
I feel a little worried. I'm not going to lie.
Why?
Because Chris Hemsworth shows up in this house. It's not good for my marriage.
Chris Hemsworth would never show up in this house.
Might. You don't know. I've booked him on the podcast next week. I don't know if I told you that. I reached out to him on Instagram.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How did that go?
What's her name ever get back to you?
Oh, yeah. We're besties now.
Is
We
it-
talk back and forth all the time.
Who was it again that you reached out to on Instagram?
Kristen Bell.
Yeah, it was Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, too bad she. Yeah. I did
Okay,
this.
she's in a good place now.
These jokes. Okay.
So anyways, I thought it was a movie all about Chris Hemsworth, but it wasn't. But he was still in it. It was fine. I think he was my favorite part of the movie, though. Let's be real. It was Chris Hemsworth.
Didn't like the race car driving.
I did really
Didn't
like
the
driving.
drama of
Now,
the rivalry between the two characters.
I'm not a huge race car fan, and I was very surprised to hear that out of the race car fans, it is a predominantly woman fan base. Isn't that?
Are we
what it
talking about
was?
NASCAR or are we talking about Formula One?
I guess NASCAR.
Those are different things.
Yes. Well, regardless, either one. I just, who would drive a car that fast and risk their lives? And it just seems a little bit too dangerous for me. And I'm not quite supportive of that type of, danger lifestyle.
It has gotten safer. From the 70s, it has gotten a lot safer.
I guess from the 70s.
In the 70s, I mean, they say this in this movie. In the 70s, 2 drivers died every season. Every season, they didn't get out of the season without losing at least 2 of their drivers. That there was a 20% chance every time you get in that car, you're going to die. And it's gotten better. But yeah, I mean, that's, I think, one of the things that the story is exploring is the type of person that would be willing to get behind the wheel of a car and push the envelope like this. And that's when you're racing in a car at these speeds, you are, an inch, a second, a maneuver away from losing control of your car.
Yeah.
You ride the car to the very edge to get an advantage. And it's exploring the personalities of the type of people that do that. And the thing that's so fascinating about the story between these 2 guys is they were very different people. James Hunt was the kind of crazy risk taker that did it just for the rush of it. Niki Lauda was not the same type of person. I mean, he obviously enjoyed that somewhat. He liked to win and he liked to be the best and he liked to be the fastest, but he was much more pragmatic with it. He was the guy that didn't want to take as much risks, that wanted to keep the risk. I think the line in the movie is, this is an acceptable risk, not a percentage more. Like, it's any more risky than it is just the base level of risk, I won't do it. And I think it's a fascinating way of exploring, those 2 different people and how their different styles of doing the same thing cause them to butt heads and have a rivalry that,
went down in history.
It did. I mean, it literally did. And Lauda has that horrible crash in 76 and is back on the track in a month and a half or something ridiculous.
That was ridiculous, yes.
Just because he's driven to win.
And you know what? That was the worst part of the movie.
Which was the worst part of the movie?
Not that he got in the wreck. That was horrible. The crash was bad. The lungs.
Oh, when they're getting the stuff out of his lungs.
The lungs were the worst.
The sounds as they put that metal thing down his lungs.
I'm
and
just
vacuumed
even
out
cringing. Like my ears, my jaw, it is just clenching right now. Just thinking about the fact that happened. I mean, I also just don't really like hospitals very much. Haven't ever really been sick enough or broken anything to the point where I'd have to go to the hospital. I don't do well. It's already making me kind of queasy to think about it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I passed out in a hospital once. Did I tell you that?
No.
I've actually passed out twice. And both times I was in a hospital.
Elyse.
Yeah, so we went. One time I was getting my blood drawn and it was just like, I lost it. So now we have to be really careful whenever I go and I give blood. They had to give me the butterfly needle on the top of my wrist because they tried the veins and they wouldn't work. And then I just passed out. And so they were afraid. So then they just did it
Oh my God.
on the top of the wrist.
Oh my God.
Did I ever tell you that?
No.
Oh yeah. So now every time I go, I just say, in the past, I have passed out giving blood. I just want to let you know that so that you were aware of it ahead of time. So they usually lay me down on a table. They don't do that for everyone, right?
No.
It's normally just sitting.
You can just sit there,
They lay me down just in case. Anyways, the other time was we had a family friend. She was ill, had cancer, and we went to go see her. And it was just, I didn't do well.
See, I've never had that problem with
I
hospitals.
blacked out. And yeah.
I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time in hospitals, but I spent a fair amount, and I've never had that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I the lung vacuuming was really gross. But
yeah, sorry, I just went on a little tangent there. Let's get it back to Rush.
I think
Chris Hemsworth,
I think him
right?
trying to put the helmet over his burned head was
that was
worse for
awful
me.
too.
I had to have hurt so bad.
I mean, do you think he really did that?
I don't know. I don't know how much of this is true. I mean, like
The lungs, I'm sure they had to do.
The general
But-
facts of this are true. He was in a very bad accident. His body was very badly burned. He got back in the car very, very quickly so he could compete in the race. And then in the end, Hunt managed to win the championship.
And he only won because he learned a lesson.
Because Nikki wasn't willing to do the risk. He bowed out.
He's, he's a real man.
Yeah, sure. He loved his wife too much, whereas James Hunt only wanted to win. But he only wanted to win the one time. And that's the difference between the two of them. Hunt won once. Lauda won, I think, 4 or 5 times? 3 times?
I think it was 3. I looked it up.
He was just done. He won the one time, and then I think he died of a heart attack in his 40s. James Hunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
How tragic.
Well, living the way he was living, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Who knows all that he was doing?
But yeah, I mean, like, look, Ron Howard, the director, is not like the most flourishy director, right? Like, I think he's a very like journeyman director. He goes in, he gets the shots he needs, he makes decent movies that are never like holy shit amazing, like doesn't do crazy stuff. But he is a director that gets it done. Like Apollo 13 is a good movie.
I love Apollo 13.
And I think this movie is good too. I think this is a very solidly done movie that I don't think got a lot of credit. I think it's like inherently like a topic that people don't like. Formula One is very international, right? Like in the US it's NASCAR. Everyone does NASCAR. People don't follow Formula One as much. But I think it's a really fascinating thing. Like I don't like watching racing. Like races actually take like a long time because it's like hundreds of laps. But like a dramatized movie about racing, I think is great because you can focus on all the really super interesting moments. And I think that's what this movie does really well. And I don't remember the first time I saw this movie. I mean, it was 2013. I don't think I saw it in the theater. I think I probably rented it. But probably one of my favorite racing movies, actually.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I told you earlier, I think you made 2 solid choices back to back.
Yeah. And you said that with like shock on your voice. Like,
I mean,
wow,
who knew?
Wow.
Who knew you could pick 2 movies that I like back to back for me to watch?
Wow, that's so crazy. So, Elyse, how many Fast and the Furious movies have you seen?
I've seen the first one.
Okay,
I've
you're
seen
taking
the second
too long.
one.
Do you like this better than Fast and the Furious movies?
No.
No.
Do
you like this better than?
I mean, The Rock.
Well, The Rock doesn't come into the 5th one.
Scott.
It's not even a racing movie. By the time
Scott,
The
we
Rock
don't
comes
even we don't even pretend that there are movies before The Rock.
in. Do you like this better than Cars?
Oh, I don't like Cars. The Pixar cartoon. I did not like Cars.
Even Cars
Any of
3?
them. Didn't like them. Nope.
What about Speed Racer? Which is
I
my
definitely liked
favorite.
this more than Speed Racer.
How dare you? How
definitely did.
dare you?
Definitely.
My favorite movie.
Eh,
You've broken my heart today.
it's okay. It'll mend.
That is funny that I like Speed Racer is one of my favorite movies, and I didn't connect them together. It's like, hey Scott, you like racing movies, but I do. So I like this movie a lot, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good choice.
It's full cast.
Yeah,
They made Daniel Bruhl look a lot like Niki Lauda. Poor old rat face Niki Lauda.
He did.
I think he's still alive. I think.
He is. He is.
Good for you, Nikki.
Way to go, Nikki.
Must feel.
Aw, Nikki, you're so fine.
That's Mickey.
Nikki.
It must be weird to go to a movie about you where everyone's saying you look like a rat. But I mean, I guess he was called it all his life, so he's just used to it. But it's weird to like, yes, we will put this in the movie.
What animal do I look like? It's okay. You can be honest.
I don't know. I don't think you look like an animal. Well, you have stuff in your teeth, so.
Oh, man.
You look like whatever animal gets stuff stuck in their teeth. What animal do I look like? It's turning around on you. Yeah, see, it's not easy question to answer. Ha!
Some sort of monkey.
A monkey?
Yes.
Is it because my big ears?
No.
Oh, I like monkeys. That's fine.
I do too. They're my favorite animal.
Aw, thanks, babe.
Yep. Yep.
Elyse.
Uh-huh.
I think that's it for Rush, right? Do you have anything more
Yeah.
you want to? What was your was your least favorite part of the movie? Just the,
Oh my gosh, all the medical things.
all the medical
Yes,
stuff?
it was just not good for me.
Okay,
I don't do well with those
so it's
things.
not even really like I didn't like it. It's just I didn't like. It's not even that I thought it was bad. It's just
No,
I didn't like
I didn't
it.
have anything in there that I would have necessarily thought that was just bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was just there are parts where it was like, oh, disgust.
I think.
And then Chris Hemsworth.
I think James Hunt's
great.
relationship with Olivia Wilde is a little.
It's sad.
I mean, they just like I understand why they put it in there, like to show that like really all he was committed to was first of all casting Olivia Wilde as a British actress, and then making her
yeah,
do a British
interesting.
accent, which she
Not
was
great.
not great at.
They should have flip flopped Olivia Wilde and Natalie Dormer.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Natalie Dormer was in them. I forgot. Like I hadn't. I think this was it was
Yeah.
pre Game of Thrones when I saw this movie, so I didn't even like put that together. It was
Yeah, they
Natalie
should have
Dormer at the
flip-flopped
very
it.
beginning. Well, I mean, back then. Natalie Dormer was nothing, and Olivia
well, now
Wilde
she's
was like-
everything.
Yeah, I mean, if they were doing the movie over again, they probably would have cast her. But I think Olivia Wilde looks very much like what is the name of that actress that she was portraying? Because obviously that's a real woman as
It's
well.
a real woman that she was portraying
Uh-huh.
in the movie about James Hunt,
She was a model, not an actress.
a model.
Susie Miller.
Who is Susie Miller? I've never seen what Susie Miller looks like in real life. Let's see.
All right, let's do it.
Oh no, I beat you. Ah ha ha ha. Oh yeah, she does look kind of like her.
Yeah. See.
Especially whoa, right there in that wedding picture. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde.
I mean, that's why they. I really feel like that's why they cast her.
yeah.
but-
I mean, that is spot on. It's the bone structure.
It is. They have a very similar face structure.
I really like Olivia Wilde.
I like her too. I like the name Olivia. It's just like Olivia. Did
Liv-
he just that's a John Mayer song, right? Just like Olivia. Did he name that after Olivia Wilde? I think I read that he did. Did they
No.
date for a little bit?
I know nothing of John Mayer.
Oh. Who's Olivia Wilde married to right now?
Oh my gosh, it's the guy. I can't tell the difference between the two.
Jason Sudeikis.
Is it Sudeikis?
It is.
And who's the other one I think that looks like him?
I don't know.
Similar names.
Will Arnett?
No, not Will Arnett. This is just like great audio, right?
This is really quality.
Jason Sudeikis
Just talking about some actors.
looks a lot like who? Jason Sudeikis look-alike. Ed Helms. See? Everyone else thinks so too. Jason Sudeikis looks like Ed Helms. It's so true.
He kind of does.
I mean,
I think
side by side. Look at that.
I think Sudeikis is a better looking dude than Ed Helms, but that's just me.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I'm so used to seeing Ed Helms in the glasses that I don't see it. But when he's not wearing glasses, they do look
yeah, and
similar.
I don't remember him without the or with the glasses.
Okay, so that's the end of the episode.
Guys, you should look up Ed Helms and Jason Sudeikis right next to each other. It's incredible.
Next week, we are going to be back to talk about Elise's movie in the
Giddy up.
horsepower category. We're going to be talking about
That wasn't a really good
1944's.
horse.
That was weird. 1944's National Velvet.
Yeah, 1944.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Yep.
Very young Elizabeth Taylor
Yep.
in this movie.
She's young.
I've never seen it. I can't wait to watch it.
I
I'm sure
have.
it's going to be great. Yes, that's the concept of the show. Thank you, Elyse.
It is?
Yes.
I'm supposed to be picking movies you haven't seen,
Yeah. And vice versa.
but I've picked movies you've seen before.
Well, sometimes you go rogue.
You've
It's
never
fine.
explained this good enough for me to
That's not true.
understand.
All right, guys. So we'll be back next week to cover National Velvet. I believe that movie's available on Amazon and stuff, and it's available to stream places. So if you haven't seen it before, go stream it.
Now,
I hope you guys let us know what you think about the new format. I hope it's going to be better. Basically, it's this or every other week. So if you like that we're still doing it every week, but we're doing it this way, let us know. We really appreciate the feedback. And if you like this show, consider becoming a patron on Patreon of Doof Media, which makes the show and many other shows. You can go to patreon.com/Doof Media and donate $1 a month or whatever else you can afford. every little bit helps defray the cost of making these shows and our rental fees and our hosting fees and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for your support. Also, Elyse,
Yes.
what if what else can they do to help out the show?
They can write a review.
Yeah. Where they go to do that?
Well, see, the only place you can do it is on iTunes, guys. And I know it's inconvenient, but I'm asking you to do it.
She is. If you could see the look on her face right now, you would do it right away.
You would.
It's like hurt and tired, and she's got a blanket wrapped around her. And she's fake crying. She's really not good at fake crying. Elyse doesn't cry ever, guys. Elyse, I think I cry more than Elyse does.
It's true. You do.
I get emotional at entertainment and cry. Elyse
you do. I look over, I'm like, Scott, are you crying?
Elyse's cries are all stress based, and
That's true.
my cries.
Oh my gosh, it's so true.
And my cries are all I just watched a sad movie based, or a happy movie based.
It's the pressure release.
All right, guys, we will see you next week to talk about National Velvet.
You can call me Old Faithful now.
Hey, Elyse.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm going to go cry.
I'm not.